Welcome, y'all. Welcome to the MMA show brought to you by Mills MMA Locker Room and Brad Francis. We're bringing you something new, something brand new. Talking about fight dogs. We're going to be going over the UFC 273 card, going over our best plays, our best picks, our best dogs, and our lottery picks. What's up, Brad? How you doing, man?
What's up, Mills? We live, baby. It's about time, man. This is going to be a good show. I'm super excited. How you doing today?
Man, I'm pumped, man. I'm out here in Sunnyside, California. I always like to do a timestamp, man. I'm on 4 p.m. my time. Where you at? Where you located?
I'm out here in Denver, Colorado, 5:06 p.m. my time. So we're not too far away here, but, different time zones. We still make it work, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. So, I mean, yeah, we're bringing you guys this show, because the people in the chat's been asking for it. MMA then took off right now. It went from one of those things that wasn't a mainstream sport. Now it is. And now everybody's betting on it, man. They're making money on it from everywhere and every single angle. Ain't that right, Brad?
That's right, man. That is right. And we are here to give you those picks.
So real quick, man, I'll give you guys my introduction. I've been on MMA since, man, I'm talking about since the Robbie Lawler days with the curly hair and the Nick Diaz and everything like that. So I've been around, for a lot of the events too. I actually like to go to some of the events. I've been to the Brock Lesnar fight, Cain Velasquez fight, John Jones versus DC fight. I mean, a few of them like that. I actually got a side thing that I do. I actually get to talk to the fighters and interview them. So, got a lot of interviews with some of the actual MMA fighters out there that you guys, might like and might be fans of too. Not just UFC. I love Bellator. I love PFL and LFA. What about you, Brad, man? Give me your introduction to MMA.
Yeah, man. So I started watching MMA. I remember flicking through the TV. Spike Channel popped up, and it was Tough Season 10. I don't know if you remember that one, but it was Rampage versus Rashad. That's the season that Kimbo Slice was on. And from there, I was like, holy shit, man, this stuff is crazy. So yeah, then went through the Brock Lesnar the Anderson Silva GSP era, the McGregor era. And, some people may disagree, but this is my favorite era, man. I mean, the fighters now are so talented. The sport's a little more mainstream. And yeah, I cannot complain with the MMA game right now.
Man, I hear you on that. I remember that season too. Yeah, man, that was when Sugar Rashad Evans was out there just grabbing his stuff and like doing everything in the ring, man. And Rampage Jackson, man, that guy was no joke, man. He used to walk out with the chain on his neck and woo, howling and stuff like that, man. And RIP Kimbo Slice, man, that was the backyard fighter out there, fighting people in his backyard. Then got a shot to the UFC. Got a couple of UFC fights, and now his son actually fights in Bellator. So, yeah, man, I definitely remember those days right there, man. So what was one of the first fights you remember betting on?
Betting on? Okay, so I bet it was Conor McGregor Aldo. That was the time when I first started betting on sports. Everyone was telling me bet Conor McGregor. I mean, huge star. I think he was like a minus. He was a fat favorite. And I remember I had a place I think it was like $300 just to win like 100 on it or something crazy. I don't remember exactly, but end up sleeping him first round, and from there, I always loved betting on MMA. What about you?
Man, first fight I bet on had to be. It was my boy Curtis Millender. Yeah, he had a fight. And I actually bet on him. He was a big favorite making his debut against what was it, Thiago Alves. So got the knockout, got the win, everything like that. That was my first time actually like making bets and betting on fighters. But before that, it was just always just trying to bet with my friends on I picked it right. Once the money got involved and the dollars came in, oh man, it's been a whole different story, man. It makes it now to where it's like I feel like I have to bet every fight just because I'm watching it. I want some type of action,
Exactly. No, I feel you. It gets a little dangerous sometimes. Sometimes I'll just be like, screw it, I just need some action on this one. But hey, yeah, I mean, it just makes the fight so much more exciting to watch, and gotta love clocking on some fights.
Yeah, man. So let's talk a little bit about the card coming up, man. We got UFC 273 coming up right now. Got got a lot of fights on the card. Over, I think, 12 fights on the card. You got Julio Arce versus Daniel Santos. You got Pierre Rodriguez versus Kate Hansen. That right there is a women's fight that I'm really not looking into. You got Fluffy Hernandez versus Josh Fram. Lexico Olenek, the Bull Constrictor versus Jared Bandera. Mickey Gall versus Michael Malott. Raquel Pennington versus Aspen Ladd. Marcin Tybura versus Jairzinho Rozenstruick. You got Ian Gary, the prospect, versus Darion Weeks. Mark the Olympian Madsen versus Vinc from Hell Pichel. Mackenzie, you heard the word Dern fighting Tecia, never in the boring fight. Torres. Khamzat, Chimaev, I just smash people versus Gilbert Burns. I fight every other 4 months. Petr Yan, one of the best boxers in the division, versus Funk Master Flex Aljamain Sterling. And how could I forget about the main event? Alexander Volkanovski versus the one and only Korean Zombie, man. 13 fights on the card taking place in Jacksonville. Brad, man, what's some of the fights that's you're most entertaining to watch?
So we took a week off of fights. I was craving some fights, and then they give us this pay-per-view. This is the first pay-per-view, I think, it's been in a month, and this card's fire, man. I'm digging this card. Ian Gary, like you said, prospect. This kid could be a superstar if he just keeps pulling out these fights. Fun kid to watch. Mackenzie Dern, Tecia Torres, fun female fight as well. I ain't gonna lie, Mills. I got a little crush on Mackenzie Dern. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
And we got 2 title fights. I mean, we can't go wrong here. I mean, the last 3 fights, those could all be main events. So, this thing is pretty stacked. A little top heavy, but all around just a great card. How you feeling about it?
Man, great card. Like you said, man, the main card, like you said, each of these last 3 fights could headline their own cards, and be main events for them, So I'm glad, UFC gave us all those fights all in one night. And the other thing is this. We didn't get too many fights canceled on us, like a few. It was only one, Drisky Duplessis versus Kevin Gastelum. I was really looking forward to that one. South African product right there, Duplessis is. But that fight was the only one that really got canceled and canned. So, besides that, man, 13 fights. It's going to be a great night at pay-per-view events, man. Let's get into so what we're going to do on this one. A lot of people do prediction shows and picks. We're not here for all of that, man. We're going to give you guys some of the fights that we like and we highlight on the prelim. Then we're going to go over the main card and attack it from a way to give you guys a best play, best dog, best lottery pick. So what's the first fight on the prelim that you wanted to actually go over? What do you think? You think we start with Aspen Ladd or?
Yep, I'm liking that Aspen Ladd versus Pennington fight. This one's going to be a close fight. Aspen Ladd, this is actually the first time she's been an underdog in her career, which I was pretty surprised by. And I've never been too high on Raquel Pennington personally. At one time she was at the top of the division, lost that title fight, but she's coming off a hot little 3-fight winning streak. So she's been looking a little better. But like I said, I think this is going to be a close fight. Raquel Pennington is pretty much average everywhere, in my opinion, when it comes to UFC standards. And Ladd, her stand-up's just all right, but she does have a very good ground game, good grappling, and I think that's what's going to be the difference here. I think, Aspen Ladd is going to be able to take her down at some points of the fight and squeeze out a win, and you could get her at plus 160. So getting Aspen Ladd as a dog in this fight, I think there's great value with that. So loving Aspen Ladd at this spot.
Yeah, man, talk about it, man. Raquel Pennington versus Aspen Ladd. Rocky opened up minus 145 on the bookmakers out there. Now it's all the way up to a minus 180, minus 190, depending on what book you got it at. Coming off a 3-fight win streak, right? But the 3 fights that she won really ain't that impressive, if you look at the people that she got her wins over. But on the flip side, if we look at her resume and look at the people that she lost to, nothing but championship pedigree, And I'm kind of piggybacking on something you said a little bit earlier. I was never really too high on Raquel Pennington, former Ultimate Fighter. That's where she came from. One of those gritty fighters on there. Actually ended up winning the competition. Got better in time. As she started developing in her MMA career, she just didn't do not one thing great. It wasn't just, oh, I have that killer punch, I have the output, or I'm just a great wrestler. Nothing like that. Just an average fighter, able to get wins because the women's division ain't that impressive. Over time, though, I forget who it was. I think she was fighting Amanda Nunes in the 4th round. And she told her corner, I don't want to go back out there. And her corner said, no, go back out there. And she said, no, I don't want to go out there. And repeated it 2 times. They should have called the fight right there. She went out there and got her ass whooped, folks. So, yeah, Raquel Pennington, man, she has the heart. She has the grind. I'm going to be looking at it a little bit different this time, man. She has her girlfriend fighting on the same card as her. So I don't know where her mind's going to be mentally, and I don't know if I really want to lay a minus 180 on Raquel Pennington. Aspen lad, oh my God. Last time we seen her in the ring, we didn't know what happened out there, man. She took a long layoff. I'm talking about a year and a half, had a leg injury. When she came back, she faced Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont just ran a clinic on her. I mean, a clinic. You could have got Norma Dumont at plus money on there. Aspen Ladd didn't win not one round in her last fight. Same type of thing with the coaching. Something happened late in the round, so where her coach was telling her, hey, you just got to go for it. What you're doing right now isn't going to work. So, when you're backing a fighter like that, mentally, I don't know where none of these ladies' minds are at, man. So, one prop that I heard out there, Aspen Ladd by TKO at a plus 800. She has one of the most submission ground and pounds. And if she gets on top of you, heavy girl, really not going to let you get up. But if you guys are feeling lucky, might want to sprinkle on that, or else you might just want to play fight goes the distance. As far as betting one of these sides, I don't really trust them with my dollar signs.
Yeah, plus 800. That's pretty wild, honestly. That's not a bad payout. And yeah, I don't know. This is a tough fight to pick. It is crazy that Aspen Ladd is a plus 160. That kind of worries me. I feel like Vegas may know something, but I can't bet Raquel Pennington. I just can't do it.
Yeah, man, I feel you, man. So yeah, we got that one out the way. Next one coming up, man. I'm talking about some big boys, heavy weights in there, man. I'm talking about Jairzinho Rozenstruick versus Marcin Tybura. Don't worry about the wording and everything like that. We're just getting it off. Some people call him Marvin. They might call him Marcin. It don't matter. Hey, but look, this is what you need to pay attention to. 22 wins and 7 losses for Tybura coming in. Rozenstruick, 12 wins, 3 losses. So when you look at it, the experience is going to be in Tybura's side, because he's been around in the octagon fighting pretty much everybody who there is in the UFC. Rozenstruick, he's a nice kickboxer, has that one power knockout punch. If he hits you and connects, lights out, night. Only thing is, man, he's timid when he throws. He's a counter striker. He doesn't go out there and just overwhelm you with a lot of volume and stuff. He's one of those guys that can be a little bit stationary too, just kind of standing around out there. But you got the odds opened up. Rozenstruick opened up on the books, minus 135. You could have grabbed him at. Now he's all the way up to a minus 150, minus 160 on some books. Shop around if you want that line. The comeback on Marcin Tybura right now is at a plus 130. When you look at the schedule of strength of the opponents on both of them, Rozenstruick actually fought the people with a better record recently, so that's going to be in his favor. But I'll be honest with you, the way that he got laid out against Francis Ngannou, I'm not going to hold that too much against him because that's the heavyweight champ, Francis Ngannou. But I just really don't like what I see from Rozenstruick as far as his output and his progression within the last year and a half. What do you think about it, Brad?
Yeah, so this is another interesting fight to pick. I mean, both these guys, they looked rough in their last fight. Rozenstruick, he couldn't stay on his feet against Blades, which is a tough task, and Tybura just looked flat against Volkov. And I mean, if this is a kickboxing match, I'm going to have to go with Rozenstruick. If Tybura is able to take him down, then it's going to be a long night for Rozenstruick. And I really think that's what this fight comes down to. And like you said, man, Tybura has 15 fights in the UFC. This guy's an absolute veteran. Rozenstruick only has 9, but I mean, this guy, they just threw him to the wolves right away. So he's used to being on a big stage. He has fought really good guys. And when it comes to Rozenstruick, I think you said it, man. You never know what you're going to get with him. He can look flat. It's just like that Overeem fight. And then the last minute, he just hits him with a power shot. So, look, man, this may be a stay away for me, but I'm going to take Rozenstruick. He's a minus 160 favorite. which is a little bit too much juice for me to throw on him just as a money line. But you could get him at +20 with a KO. So I'm going to see what happens. I think it may be smart to sprinkle a little cash on Rozenstruick. I am not high on Tybura. I think his time in the UFC is starting to fiddle away. I mean, he's a good fighter. He's currently on a winning streak, but I don't know if he competes with some of these top guys. So, yeah, give me Rozenstruick by KO.
Yeah, man, I like that right there. Rozenstruick by KO. I mean, this is the one thing I always like to tell people sometimes that one of my people told me. If you're going to bet the fighter, that's cool. Bet him. But you also should bet the way that you think he's going to win, because 9 times out of 10, you could get some crazy plus money. And if you're capping the fight right and you're seeing the ways to victory, and you're seeing and it already, like, okay, they're going to win by TKO, why not sprinkle a little bit of money on that TKO, right?
Might as well. And that's the thing with heavy favorites. I mean, if you want to get the best values with the prop bets, sometimes if you get a guy who's like -300, -200, it's a little risky to throw it on the money line, but throw a little less money on how he's going to beat him. I feel like there's a good way for success in that route.
Yeah, man. One prop I'll give you guys on that fight too, the Rozenstruick fight. I would be looking to play fight not going the distance. Little price tag, pretty high. It's one of those ones to where you can put some money on it. It should go your way. It's a -200, but when you look at it, if Marcin Tybura gets Rozenstruick down. All right, now let me give you guys some passive victory real quick for Marcin Tybura. Marcin Tybura, not the best striker out there, okay? But he's a wrestler. He's a grappler. And once he gets you down, he's going to keep you down. So one thing that I like against this is that Tybura, he's been taking down people way bigger than Rozenstruick. Rozenstruick is listed at 6'1". Man, the dude's only like 5'10". Dude's a little midget. So Tybura's going to have him on the size. He's going to be a little bit more bulkier than him and heavier too. A little husky guy Tybura is. So on it, man. Rozenstruick, he has good takedown defense. But when you're facing somebody that's just going for wrestling, grappling, and takedown one after another, you gotta question yourself and see, man, is Rozenstruick going to be able to hold up for the full rounds to, go all the way for the judge's decision? So one thing I like is fight not to go the distance for one, because Tybura, if he wins, he's probably going to finish him. Rozenstruick's never been to any scorecards. All his wins, 6 of them by TKO. Okay, never been to a scorecard. So if Rozenstruick wins, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be by that. So that's one prop I'll give you guys on that one right there, man.
Yeah, it's a solid angle there. Can't deny that.
Man, so we got the little prelims up right there, man. Now we're going to be kicking off the main card coming off, man. This is going to be kicking off 10 p.m. Eastern time, pay-per-view coming out. First fight of the night just got bumped up to it, just got mentioned today. And it's against two physical, imposing wrestlers. I'm talking about Vinc from Hell Pichel, 14-2, taking on Mark Madsen, 11-0. The line opened up. Check this out, man. It crisscrossed. Vinc Pichel opened up at a +130. Mark Madsen opened up at a -150. Now, line doesn't change. Vinc Pichel, -145. Come back on Mark Madsen, +115 to a +125. Man, so this fight right here, I think it's going to be two wrestlers versus each other, opposing the wills and seeing who can get it done. You got Mark Madsen, orthodox fight stance, coming out of Fight Ready MMA, fighting over there with Eddie Chow, Henry Cejudo. One thing that he has on his favor, man, great Olympian Greco wrestling. When you talk about wrestling, it's a few people that you don't mess with, the Dagestanians and the Grecos, okay? You don't want to mess with them when it comes to wrestling right here, man. One thing he does, he pushes the pace a lot. That 15-minute wrestling pace he's good at. He has a good chin on him, so he can take a punch. Vinc Pichel, 1 TKO in 9 fights. Not really worried about him getting TKO too much. The game plan for Mark Madsen got to be just to stay on his game plan and have the right fight IQ. If you think that he's just a grappler, he's not. He outstruck Clay Guida last time, improving on his strike. And as you can see, if you can outstrike Clay Guida in a fight, you're doing something right. Vinc Pichel, 23% takedown defense, not that good. But Mark Madsen, what he's going to have to do, get him with the body locks, you know what I mean? Overpower him physically. Vinc Pichel struggles with fighters like that. So those are some of the ways that I think Mark Madsen's going to be able to win in this fight right here. On the other side, Vinc Pichel, good kicks to the body, good at switching stances, good combinations, crisp striking, physically opposing. I mean, can wrestle, can use reversals, can get takedowns, good power in the hands, 23 takedowns in the UFC. I mean, he can kind of do it all. Coming out of Factory Muay Thai, that's a real good camp that you want to be fighting out of. So it's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be a good one, Brad. How you see it?
Yeah, like you said, man, I think this is going to be a close fight. I mean, they don't call him the Olympian for nothing. And civil medalist, freestyle wrestler, Mark Madsen. He's a beast. But the tough thing in this fight is Pichel. I would consider him more of an all-around fighter. He's been doing this for a longer time, training multiple disciplines for a longer time. So that's what makes this fight interesting. But I'm going to have to agree with you. I think Mark Madsen is able to tie him up, make it, what some people would call a boring fight, and just body lock him, keep him against the cage, possibly take him down here and there. And, I think he pulls out a decision win. It is a little weird that the odds switched like that. I would, if I was handicapping this fight, I would say Mark Madsen is maybe a minus 120 favorite just due to his wrestling credentials. Like you said, Clay Guida, he stood up for most of that fight, which is absolutely insane. I don't know why he didn't go for more takedowns in that fight, but, it is what it is. He got the win, and that was a good win for him. And so he knows how to fight on the big stage against good guys. And I like him getting plus money here. You're getting a silver medalist wrestler in this fight with plus odds. So give me that all day.
Yeah, man. And for the people out there, if you guys are thinking about backing Mark Madsen, man, one thing you want to know about Pichel, been taken down 6 times by Gregor Gillespie. Other opponents have taken him down in all of his fights too. So that's one thing that, pretty much Vinc Pichel doesn't have is the good takedown defense. And Marco Madsen, like I said, he's putting it together, not really known as a striker, but outstruck Clay Guida in his last fight. You guys want to stay tuned because I have a best bet prop on this fight that you guys might want to stay tuned for later. So stay tuned for that one, man.
Yeah, should be a good fight there. I'm pumped for that one.
Next fight on the card, man. We're going to be rolling out, Women's Delight, man. I mean, my man said he got a crush on her, so let's go ahead and talk about it, man. Mackenzie Dern coming in 11-2 versus Tecia Torres, 13-5. Let me talk about the line. Mackenzie Dern opened up plus 115, plus 120. You could have got her at if you were sharp. Didn't stay there. Line done flipped. Went to a pick 'em. Nope. Now Mackenzie Dern minus 120 on all your books out there. Minus 115 if you guys want to better. Man, so this fight, when it got announced to me, I think this is a fight that both these fighters need to push them in to push their career. Mackenzie Dern coming off a loss versus Marina Rodriguez, one fight away from fighting for a title pretty much if she would have been able to pull that off. Before that, she was on an impressive 3-fight win streak. Tecia Torres, man, it's kind of the same thing with Raquel Pennington, her actual girlfriend, that's fighting on the same card. It's hard to get a good read on her, man. I'm not really too impressed with her. She has a win over Angela Hill in her last fight. But before that, her wins wasn't that impressive, and her losses, they were stacking up. She got up to 4 losses, and the UFC was one fight away from cutting her. Before they did that, though, she got some wins over a few fighters that really shouldn't be in the UFC, like I want to say Bennett and stuff like that, and another girl who got called up on short notice. So actually 2 of her wins are, not really too credible for me, in my opinion. This fight right now, I don't really know which way to go, so I'm going to let Brad take it over, man. Go ahead. Who you?
Yeah, I mean, Tecia Torres, I would consider her a pioneer in women's mixed martial arts. She had that 4-fight losing streak, but it was against basically the top women in every division currently. So, I mean, I don't put too much weight on those 4 fights that she lost in a row, and she's on a 3-fight winning streak. But like you said, the opponent's not too great. Dern, on the other hand, I mean, Marina Rodriguez, that girl's an absolute animal. I could see her, maybe possibly being a champ one day. So I'm not putting too much weight on that loss either. When it comes to Tecia Torres, I think it's do or die for her career. I mean, this is like, I would say, her last run to, possibly keep winning and getting a title shot. But man, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think it's gonna happen. Look, Mackenzie Dern, one of the best female grapplers in the UFC, possibly in the world. Tecia Torres, she does have the striking advantage. She throws a lot of volume with flurries and things like that. But if Mackenzie Dern is able to get Tecia Torres down, it's not going to end well. I mean, any girl in this division, if she's able to get her down, it's not going to end well. So I'm liking Mackenzie Dern by submission. You can get that at plus 215. Maybe throw a little half unit on this. I think Dern wins this. Throw a unit on the money line, throw a little half unit on the Dern by submission. That's the way I would go at it. And yeah, I'm loving Mackenzie Dern here. I feel like Tecia Torres, she's just out of her prime. It's not her time.
Man, I hear you, man. Dern, specialist in BJJ, man. One of the best in the division. If she gets you down, it's a wrap, man. Boxing in hand, she's getting better, man. Was able to hold her own with Nina Nunez, and Marina Rodriguez. She went the whole 5 rounds with her. But check this out. This is something I like, man. 4 submissions off of 3 takedowns. That means that she's getting more submissions per take. You get the math with that, man. That's all she needs is 3 takedowns, and she already has 4 submissions on that. Torres, she's been taken down more than a Chris Brown song. So, when it comes to it, I really think the path is there for Dern. Like you said, one bet that you would want to bet would be Dern by sub, just because that's her path to victory. Tecia Torres on the other side, I mean, she needs to pressure her fighters, press them up against the cage, clinch, get in, get out. Being a smaller fighter in the division, she can't just stay out and, use that jab or anything like that. One thing she has, great head movement, clean striking, good techniques, good cardio, keeps hands up high, so her striking defense is always there. One thing that she's really good at that I'm a little bit worried about is if she attacks the body of Mackenzie Dern, she can fold like a lawn chair at a yard sale. So, man, I'm kind of liking your angle on Mackenzie Dern. Matter of fact, I'm with you 100%, man. Mackenzie Dern, born and raised in Brazil, moved out to Long Beach, over here putting it on for the city. So let's go, man. Give me some Mackenzie Dern. Matter of fact, I'll put it out there. I got her when she came out early, plus 115. I was that guy.
There you go. Sharp Mills over here. Let's get it.
Let's go, man. Let's go. So, man, hopefully you guys are appreciating all this comments, all the content out there. If you guys are, man, I need you to do one thing, and that's smash that like button, man. Hit that like button right now, man. Let us know that you're watching and rocking, appreciating everything. And also, too, leave your comments after the video is posted on, who you think the fight's going to be in favor for and how you think it's going to play out, man. So, yeah, now we're getting down to the real fights, man.
Woo. It's about to get real.
The big 3. So we talking about I'm gonna smash you, man. Khamzat Chimaev coming in versus Gilbert Dorino Burns. 10-0 for the Prodigy Project prospect out of Sweden. Gilbert Burns 20-4. Not that bad a record, right? Of course, man. He was the guy when COVID happened. He was fighting like goddamn near every week, man. So, you got to respect him for that. Let's talk about the odds, though. Khamzat Chimaev laying around minus 450 when he opened up on majority of the books out there. Now he's all the way up to a minus 550, minus 600. Come back on Gilbert Burns. Way too high to even mention on here, man. But so let's get into it and talk about it real quick. It's not going to be too much that we can go over on fights like this with numbers like this. But man, Brad, go ahead, take it away, man. Are you on the Khamzat train?
You hear that, Mills?
Choo-choo? Choo-choo?
Those are some dogs, all right? You may think I'm crazy for this one.
Oh!
You may think I'm crazy for this one. All right. Gun to my head, I wouldn't do this, but when it comes to value, I like Gilbert Burns money line plus the 500 or whatever you could get it at. Look, Chimaev.
You're on a solo screen on that one right now when you're talking about the Gilbert Burns plus 500.
Hey, I
man.
may be the only one in the world. All right?
Go ahead.
All right, Chimaev.
Tell me why Gilbert Burns is going to – go ahead.
Okay, I got you. Look, Chimaev, scariest dude in the UFC right now. I mean, one of the most hyped up fighters, but man, this is a big leap of competition. He had that big layoff when he had COVID, and I mean, if you look at who he's beat, I mean, Jingaling, Mershart, McKee. I mean, those guys, they're all right. They're not that great, in my opinion. When to UFC standards, they'll kick my ass. But you know what I'm saying. I think this is a huge leap in competition for Chimaev. Gilbert Burns, he fought for a title last year. He actually dropped Kamaru Usman, one of the best grapplers in the UFC. I mean, just you could call me crazy, but I think the value lies here. If you could sprinkle a little quarter unit on Gilbert Burns, who knows? Look, Chimaev, if he gets him to the ground, I mean, anytime you have Gilbert Burns on the ground with you, you're in danger. When it comes to the stand-up game, I mean, Gilbert Burns, he has got knocked out twice in his career, but I mean, he has like 24 fights or something like that. So, you know, he does have a chin. I don't see him getting slept for some reason. I don't know. Gilbert Burns, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC. So yeah, you know, that's my
That's the case.
That's my case right
that's
there.
The case, right? Okay.
I try my best, Bills. That's my case. I know it's tough to take Gilbert Burns, but let me hear what you got.
Your Honor, I like to plead my case. The defendant right there said dangerous on the mat. When was the last time Gilbert Burns got a goddamn submission? You're gonna have to scratch your head on that one, man. It's been a long time. Okay, so one thing is that yes, they say Gilbert Burns if. Man, that if is out the window. He don't submit people no more. He fell in love with his hands out here, man. Oh man, Gilbert Burns to me is just gosh, man.
You're not a Gilbert guy?
I on the underdog versus Khamzat, I just don't see his path to victory. Khamzat's never been over 1.5 rounds, never seen a round 3. Khamzat to me is as advertised, as good as it gets. I think he's gonna knock him out. I think he's gonna finish him. And matter of fact, I'm gonna just give it to you now, man. Hey, go ahead, you guys. You listening? You got it now, man. Go ahead. Bet Khamzat Chimaev to win by TKO, KO, or submission -190. That's the play to get you paid right there, man. Khamzat train. Choo, choo. I'm all aboard, man. This guy was beating up Allison Gustafsson in 2017. One of the light heavyweights that went toe-to-toe with John Jones. There's videos of him training with him in his camp in Sweden, beating him up. You know, like I'm a believer in the Khamzat train right now. I'll be honest too, -450. You parlay him with like one other fighter, you know, and get you a decent line and just hammer it. I'm talking about hammer it, man. Smash it.
We'll see, Mills. We'll see. I'm telling you. Don't sleep on my boy Gilbert.
Hey, I like that take. I like that take, though. I like that take, man.
Gun to my head. I mean, Chimaev probably, but I mean, plus 500, Gilbert Burns.
Now, see, now what you're talking about value and stuff, I'm hearing you and I'm with you because this next fight, I'm with you 100% on this one, man. Talking about value and lines and stuff. I'm talking about Aljamain Sterling, Funk Master Flex, the motherfucking champion, right? Versus Petr Yan for the co-main event is coming up. That's going to be a banger. 20 wins, 3 losses for Aljo, 16-2 for Petr. This is going to be a rematch right now. So when we talk about the betting lines, Petr Yan opened up a -400. Okay, now he's all the way up to a -550 on books out there. Aljamain Sterling, come back on him, plus 345. The line where the fight got announced at last time on the rematch, you got Petr Yan at a -115, -120, and you had to come back on Aljo at a +115, +125. So just to talk about the last fight, man, Petr Yan ran a clinic on him, 7 takedowns on him. Aljo outstruck him, I want to say, in the first round. That's because Petr Yan has a habit of losing the first round. Slow starter, may I say, on that. But Petr Yan ran a clinic on him, did an illegal knee. Aljo got hit with it, got the belt DQ'd. They haven't fought since, but we're talking about value here, man. And I'm on Aljo, man. Aljamain Sterling, look at the pedigree. Look at the resume. Look at the people that he's fought with, man. Like, he has a long jab out there. Has a few submissions in the UFC. I want to say 4 out of his fights in the UFC. On top of it, he could push the pace out there. He could throw up 120 strikes in a fight. Last time, his game plan wasn't there. His mind wasn't right. Hearing him in his recent interviews, he said, man, I went at that last fight all wrong. I know what I need to do. I need to treat it like a jiu-jitsu match and break it in to 5 different parts. 1 round, 1 round, 1 round. Quit trying to put it all together. I just need to beat him for 5 minutes each round. And what that means to me is backpack season, JanSport season. Aljamain Sterling is one of the best once he gets on that back. Choked out Corey Sandhagen in the first round. So, man, I'm going to just leave it like that. Give me Aljamain Sterling, Funk Master Flex plus 340. What you got for me, Brad?
That's pretty wild, man. I mean, to follow up my crazy Gilbert Burns pick, that's a wild one. All right, look. So Petr Yan, I mean, I feel like this man's like a Russian robot, good on the feet, good on the ground, is very patient and intelligent. Like you said, starts off slow. And it's going to be interesting. You know, Sterling, I mean, he's the champion, but he basically lost the fight. I mean, a legal knee. So it is what it is. But it should be interesting to see if he goes back to the lab, goes back to the drawing board, and makes some adjustments in this fight. But I think the fight goes similar as it did in the first fight. Sterling, he just comes out a little too hot. I think he's going to gas himself out. Yan will be patient. And I think Yan finishes him round 4 or 5. Obviously, I'm not going to bet the minus 490 or minus 500 with Petr Yan, but I like this fight. There's a prop bet here. Fight doesn't go to the decision at minus 110. I love that pick. I don't think this goes all 5. Like I said, I just think Aljo kind of just gasses out late in the fight, and Petr Yan is able to finish him somehow. So give me the fight doesn't go to decision.
Okay. All right. I like that. But yeah, man, I bet Aljo last time, and it was one of those things to where I actually thought he could win. He had a path to victory to win. Seen the fight. Oh, wow. Whoa. I was on the wrong side. But now hearing him and hearing how he looked at the fight, and he knows, man, I wasn't even on my game plan. I didn't do it right. I need to do it different. I'm hearing all this plus money. So I'm gonna just take a few stab on it, man. A few stab.
Yeah, it's a good value play. I feel that, you know, he's fought this guy once. He knows what Petr Yan is going to bring. So he could change up his style, completely change up his game. And when you get him at this much plus money, it's not a bad play. So I see where you're coming from there.
Got you, man. So now, man, it's time for the main event.
All right,
Main event. You ready for it?
let's get it.
Man, I'm talking about Alexander Volkanovski, 23-1, facing Korean Zombie, 17 wins, 6 losses. This fight's going to be taking place at 145. Wasn't supposed to be Korean Zombie. It's supposed to be Max Holloway. Max Holloway got hurt. In comes the Korean Zombie. Just to give you guys a little bit of brief history on Korean Zombie. This is one guy that, you know, you gotta support. You gotta like. He took some time off of MMA back in the day because he had to serve for his country in Korea. You know, because they have like those rules out there for military and army type stuff. So came to the UFC, had to go back out to his country to serve out there and stuff like that. So he had to put his MMA career on hold. Since then, came back to the UFC. Now he's scratching on that title fight, and he's there. He's never gonna get this close again. A little bit older in his career right now. Coming off of a win against Dan Ige, he looked good in. Last fight against that, he got stars versus Brian Ortega. The line makers out here just disrespectful. I just don't get it. I mean, minus 400 for Volkanovski is what he opened up at, right? Man, he doubled. It did more than that. It's minus 900 for Alexander Volkanovski, former rugby player. You know what I mean? Former rugby player out here beating up people. I got to see him fight Chad Mendes at the Staples Center and stuff like that. This fight, I'll be honest, man, I really don't gotta lean too much because it's just on Volkanovski. I got that, of course, big old degenerate parlay when it first came out. Volkanovski and Khamzat, of course, you know. But besides that, man, on this fight, I would say I would be playing fight not to go the distance. What about you, Brad?
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I wish that this was the Max Holloway Volkanovski 3. Max Holloway is one of my favorite fighters, so I may be biased, but I thought he won that second fight. But that's not what this is about. When it comes to the Korean Zombie, I mean, the dude has a chin. He's never in a boring fight. He's pretty wild. And then Volkanovski is just an absolute tank. I mean, the dude's just solid everywhere. So, I mean, I do got a play that I love a lot in this. It's kind of different than yours, I'm not going to lie. But I like Volkanovski via decision plus 135. I think it's going to be a good technical stand-up fight. I think Volk is going to play it safe, just kind of do his thing, pick him apart, go inside, outside. And then when it comes to the Korean Zombie, like I said, he has a pretty crazy chin, and I think he's going to be able to take some shots. I think Volkanovski does dominate this fight and win a decision. You can get that at plus 135, and I'm not going to lie, I like that pick a lot there.
Man, all right, all right. Yeah, I like that, man. I like that. Just because, we all got, see, that's what I like to tell people, like when you're watching a show or something, you might not take the person's bet or their pick. You might hear the other person's opinion and be like, hey, I like that shit a little bit more. That's what I like about, doing bets and prediction shows when people ain't on the same pick. If we're agreeing with the same thing and just yes, yes, and key in, it's like, how am I gonna make up my decision and decide on something, So I like that we're giving you guys different options to bet on. We're not betting on the same thing. None of this is rehearsed at all, too. So appreciate everybody tuning in, man. This is our first show right now, going over UFC 273, the main card, Volkanovski versus the Korean Zombie. So yeah, man, on that, man, I'll be honest. I just like Volkanovski in a parlay. Then I like fight not to go the distance. When it comes to the main events, I do like to sprinkle round props. So if you guys like to sprinkle that little coffee money, little venti Starbucks money, Frappuccino money, look for a round 4, round 5 TKO by Volk.
I can like that. I can dig that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Brad, man, how you like the first show that we just wrapped up, man?
Yo, I thought it was good, bro. I mean, I feel like we're gonna have a good time on this show. Every fight card, we're gonna be here on Wednesday, and we're just gonna put on a show for you guys. Like Mills was saying earlier, drop a like, drop a comment. I want to build a community here. The Pickdawgz community is huge on these other shows, and I think it could be the same for this one. So I had a great time. I think this thing's gonna be a success. We just got to keep pushing it out. So I have no complaints.
I'm with you, man. Hey, I'll be honest, man. The first time both of us on camera doing the show, it flowed and it gelled, and I'm liking what I see. So, man, we're only going to get better from here, man. I really do believe that. Like you said, we're trying to build that community over here, build a little new something for you guys over there, something to bet on, So, since we're talking about bets and everything like that, it wouldn't be right, man. I mean, hey, Brad, you think we should give him something like maybe like a best bet, maybe a best underdog, and maybe a best lottery? Oh, might as well. Brad,
Let's
hey, man,
do
the
it.
floor is yours right now, man. Best pick of the night. Doesn't have to be on the main card. It could be anything on the fight card.
Yeah, so my best bet of the night, I just said it, Volkanovski via decision, plus 135. Like I said, the Korean Zombie got a chin. I think Volkanovski dominates. This is going to go all 5. That's by far my best bet here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My best bet of the night, my most confident bet of the night. I'm gonna give you a prop, man. Give you a prop for the main card. I'm talking Mark Madsen versus Vinc Pichel. I see that fight going the distance. It's minus 165. That's my best bet of the night right there. Fight to go the distance. Vinc Pichel versus Marco Madsen minus 165. So I mean, we got the best pick out there right now. I mean, hey, it's Pickdawgz. What do we do here? We pick dogs. So I mean, let's give them our best underdog for the night.
Yeah, man, I'm taking Aspen Lad plus the 160. I don't know how Vegas has Aspen Lad plus 160 against Raquel Pennington. Give me that all day.
Man. I hear you on that one, man. So my best dog of the night, my best dog of the night is, I can't give you that one, but I give you one that I really, really, really like. All right, man. I'm going with Marcin Tybura. I'm on the other side, plus 130.
Ooh, all
Yeah,
right.
I'm on Tybura. Tybura's a guy that's been making money for me. His last 4 fights, he only lost once for me, and I knew not to bet him versus Volkov. It was just a long shot. But I got a thing, man. When people win for me, I ride it out, and he's one of those dogs that's been winning for me. So, man, give me Marcin Tybura plus 130.
All right. Okay.
What about, let's see. What else do we got out here to give them? You want to give them something like you got a parlay to get these people or anything like that?
Oh, Mills, I got a parlay here. All right. So I like Ian Gary money line. Like I said, this kid's up and coming. I think he's gonna destroy this guy he's fighting. I'm gonna fade Mills here. We're going add Rozenstruick money line on there. He's gonna keep that fight standing up. I see him knocking out Tybura. And then give me Petr Yan money line and Volkanovski via the decision. You could get that at that parlay is plus 493. So some good value there. I think that could, you throw a little money on all 4 of those fights, you're gonna have a good night.
Go over them one more time on the names, please.
Yeah, Ian Gary money line, Rozenstruick money line, Jan money line, and then Volkanovski via decision.
Via decision. And man, that's some great fucking lottery pick plus money. What was it? Plus 400?
Yeah, plus 493.
Got it, man. Got it, man. So I got my lottery pick parlay out here. You know, it ain't the plus money like that, but hey, man, we coming for it though. I got the prospect. I got Ian Gary. I like him as well, money line. But see, I got him a little bit earlier when he came out, minus 275. Also, I got Khamzat Chimaev, minus 550. No, sir. Got him at a minus 425 when he opened up. Those lines ain't out no more. So what you got to do, now you got to add some more fighters on there to try to give you some plus money. So Khamzat, Volkanovski, Ian Gary, and go ahead, throw the boy Mark Madsen in there. You put all those 3 together, that's a plus 320 right there. So that's my lottery pick parlay right there for Pickdawgz.
There we go. Is that going to do it?
Yeah, that's going to do it for my lottery pick, man. So I just want to give everybody a little bit of time right now. If you guys got any questions or anything like that in the chat right now, I'll give you like a few moments just to post them in there. Have Brad answer them or me do them to my best ability. If not, man, like I said, I just want to appreciate everybody for tuning in right now. We are going to be doing this every single UFC event that's coming out Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes, sir. It was a pleasure, Mills. I mean, this thing's going to be big. We just got to keep rocking it, you know?
Yeah, but yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So like you said, man, you guys leave some comments out there, man. You guys are going to be watching this. Leave who you guys like, your best fight, your best dog, if you agree. If not, I want to give a special shout out to Joe Madden, rocking behind the 1s and 2s, producing the show for us too. And I want to give a special shout out to all the Pickdawgz out there. You know how it go. We about to get this money and keep it on going.
Yes, sir. Have a good one, guys.
All right.